Sitaram again, everybody, and welcome to this evening's Satsangh. Today, I want to talk to you a little bit about telling untruths. And I mentioned this a little bit earlier in class, and everybody say, what is untruth? So, untruth is when you don't tell the truth. So, in other words, when you tell a little lie. And what are some of the ramifications involved in telling little lies, which eventually leads to bigger lies? But in doing so, we're going to be looking at a little story in Balkand of Sri Ramcharitmanas, where Sati Devi is observing Shiv Shankar Bhagavan in deep meditation and contemplation on Prabhu Sri Ram. So he's focusing on the name of Prabhu Sri Ram, and we talked about the power of the name of Sri Ram. So he's also focusing on the name Ram, 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 Bhole. So we did this last week on the power of the name. So he's also in deep meditation and contemplation on the name and the form of Prabhu Sri Ram. And Sati, in her, at that point in time, in her limited state, can't understand why someone with the magnitude and the one who is called the Lord of the universe, the Lord of all lords, the God of all gods, is contemplating on Sri Ram. She cannot fathom and understand this. She thought, well, maybe it should be the other way around. Sri Ram should be worshipping Bhagavan Shankar. So she's trying to question Lord Shiva and ask him, well, why? What is going on with you? Are you not feeling well? Are you not in your right mind, O Shambhu? Why are you contemplating on so much on Prabhu Sri Ram? Are you him? Is he you? She's asking all of these questions. And let us listen in this doha what Sati ji encounters. ब्रह्मचोप्यापक बीज आज अकल अनिवेद ओ रामा आज अकल अनिवेद सुख की नगरी होई नर जाए नहीं ओ रामा नर नारी जन तेर सियावर रामचंद्र पद जय शरण शंकर हरि जय सिया राम जय जय सिया राम जय जय सिया राम. So Sati ji is contemplating and asking, can the supreme eternal, which is perceived to be all pervading, this Shiva, this one who is begotten and without physical parts, without a physical body, this one who is free from all desires, and he is also beyond Maya. Beyond Maya means illusion of this world. And all the distractions. This Shiva, which even some of the Vedas cannot even comprehend, can this Shiva take the bodily form of a man and come and be that same Ram? So she's asking this question. And she is insistently asking and provoking Shambhu Baba as to why it is he is so involved in the worship to Prabhu Sri Ram. So, unwilling to accept the answers that Lord Shiva gave her, he is telling her, Sati ji, Rama and I are one. We are one and the same. I worship him, he worships me, we worship the name of each other. And this is the power involved in the name of Prabhu Sri Ram. So she cannot accept this, and Sati ji takes matters into her own hands and decides to go and pay a visit to Prabhu Sri Ram and investigate this matter for herself. So she wants to know why on earth Lord Shiva is worshipping Prabhu Sri Ram. So friends, children, sometimes when you are faced with a situation and you're asking pertinent questions, provoking questions, you may not seem to be getting the answer that you want. So you have to take matters into your own hands to investigate it further. Isn't that correct? Sometimes you want to know things for yourself. Even though your parents are telling you, this is the way that certain things should be done. Sometimes you don't listen. We don't listen. Our children don't listen. Not all the time. And you want to learn the hard way. You want to learn things for yourself. And in this process, there are many, many things that will happen. So Sati Devi takes the form of Sita Ma and approaches Sri Ram and Sita and Lakshmana in their chariot along their pathway. What happens? Let us listen in this Chaupai. So in these verses, Sati Devi has taken the form and is now approaching Prabhu Sri Ram and Lakshmana and Sita Devi. But she has taken the form of Sita Devi and approaching the chariot. So Rama, being the all-knowing God that he is, already knows that this is the Maya, the play, and this is Sati in the form of Sita approaching the chariot. So he takes front and he approaches Sati Devi and he says, with clasped hands, introduces himself as Ram, and this is my consort Sita Devi and Lakshmana. In an instant, Sati had to lose the form because she already knows that Sri Ram had identified her. And dumbstruck, he wants to know, now, why are you approaching me like this? Why you have taken this disguise and approaching me like this? And she's unable to answer. So sometimes children, when you approach somebody for something, it's best to approach them genuinely. If you need help with something, then ask genuinely and don't hide behind a different face or ask in a different way. Okay? So Sri Ram is telling her, Sati Devi, why are you approaching me like this? And she has no answer because she does not want to say that she doubted. She does not want to say that she did not believe. So Sri Ram, also intuitively knowing exactly what she was about, just left and continued on his way. And while doing so, Sati in her mind is still in doubt. Is this the Lord? Is this real? Is he? What is so great about him? And Sri Rama in that instant appeared in every single direction that Sita Devi was looking in. Every single direction. You guys know of in these Marvel movies now how you can, one person was the magician's name? Doctor Strange. How Doctor Strange can assume how he came into many different forms to deceive Thanos. So this is where they got the concept from. Prabhu Sri Ram manifested in all the different forms, in all directions that Sati Devi was seeing. He also manifested in different incarnations of the Lord. So she saw Shiva, she saw Shiva in his different forms, but Prabhu Sri Ram stayed in his original form. So she looked to the east, west, north, south, in every single direction, and she was seeing the Lord. So she said, well, this can't be any ordinary human being. So what did she do? She just left and returned back to Lord Shiva. Now, when you perform a naughty deed, whenever anybody performs a naughty deed and they go back to your parents, you're kind of quiet, aren't you? Children, when you do something wrong, you go and you sit down quiet in a corner. Okay? So we tell little lies in the process of conducting our bad deeds. And this is what I want to get to you. The story goes on and on, but I want to get to the importance of the message about telling little lies. Okay? So, why do we tell little white lies? We tell the lies mainly, in this instance, that Sati Devi is in out of compassion and love. And you tell lies to help. It allows you in some way to feel better about a situation, to feel better about yourselves, or to make someone else feel better, or to look better in someone else's eyes on how somebody else looks at you. You tell lies sometimes to maintain relationships. Little white lies, and right or wrong, I'm not questioning that at the moment. I'm just telling you why you tell lies. At the same time, lying, when you're telling these little lies, it will create problems. Because intuitively within yourself, when you tell a lie, you are unconsciously putting a negative thought and emotion into yourself. And eventually, it can threaten and make you feel less about yourself. So in order to constantly feel better, you have to tell another lie, and another lie, and another lie to cover this up. So we are dealing with telling of lies due to compassion. So Sati Devi, when questioned by Lord Shiva when she returned, also lied to Lord Shiva and denied anything. Because he was in deep meditation, knowing that she left, he didn't ask her, but he knew, and coming back, he treated her as anyone would in asking pertinent questions, and she denied anything about going and what the actions that she did. So Lord Shiva took a little grievance to her, and he became a little more quiet. He became a little more quiet and withdrawn from Sati Devi. And this boiled her blood, so to speak. And Sati Devi still continuing to question, and Lord Shiva just left her alone for a little while, because she did not agree with his statement and wanted to investigate for herself and assume different forms and different roles and questions the Lord's direct instructions. So you might tell a lie to save your relationship. You might tell a lie for personal gains. Now, this is not really being truly honest about a situation, but people do this, and I'm sure everybody does it every single day in some little way. There's something called pro-social lies. Pro-social lies. And what does pro mean? Pro-social lies, we tell these lies in little groups. So you have a little friend group on WhatsApp, or in school you have friends. In our workplace we have friends. So we tell these social lies within these groups to be a part of the group. We want to identify and be part of something, so we tell a little lie. So a little lie is not viewed in that instance as anything negative, but it makes you in that instance look more trustworthy. Or somebody will trust you more if you tell a little lie and make them believe what you're saying is true. It can lead, or this may help us to gain more friends, we become more likable in some instances. Telling little lies helps us to grow in it, but it does not always work well for you. All right? When you tell little lies all the time to cover up your ability, a lie to cover another lie to cover another lie, sometimes children, we get too carried away. We get too distracted in trying to cover up the lies that you forget about really being honest in what you're trying to say and what you're trying to do. All right, we tell lies also for self-interest, to grow yourself, for something to benefit yourself. So in all of these instances, telling little lies, while it may not have any harm on you initially, eventually later down the road, these little lies build up, and there's the law of karma that will have to bring balance. And there are those that have really good hearts and really good minds, but for some reason they tell a little lie and then they try to do 10 good things to make up for that one little lie that they do, or one little wrong deed that they do. So, children, the whole point about this whole thing is be honest as possible from the very beginning. Don't ever tell lies. It is not a good thing to do. It will only hurt in the long run, not help. Initially, even if you think telling a little lie might cause you to benefit or be able to save someone, it is better to be brutally honest about a situation than to tell any lies and be doubtful. Okay? The katha goes on, but this is a little piece of what I want to share with you today. Don't tell lies. Okay? Prem se bole Siyapati Ramachandra ki jai. So we'll all join a very beautiful Ram bhajan and we close off. Rama ho Rama re, bhul mat jana, teri ayodhya chhod ke. O Rama re, teri ayodhya chhod ke. Rama ho Rama re, bhul mat jana, teri ayodhya chhod ke. O Rama re, Rama ho Rama re, bhul mat jana, teri ayodhya chhod ke. O Rama तुझको दिखाऊंगा, तुझको चढ़ाऊंगा, तेरी अयोध्या छोड़ के। रामा ओ रामा रे, भूल मत जाना, तेरी अयोध्या छोड़ के। ओ रामा तुझको दिखाऊंगा, तुझको दिखाऊंगा, तेरी अयोध्या छोड़ के। रामा ओ रामा रे, भूल मत जाना, तेरी प्रेम से बोले सियापति रामचंद्र